Shows Art Live. We are at the De Young Museum here in San Francisco.
The De Young.
De Young.
Yes.
De Young?
I think it's the De Young. I think typically people say the De Young. We're here. Keith Haring, the Haring car back here.
He built that car.
I don't know if he built the car, but he at least painted the thing. Keith Haring's political line. We're here at the opening. We're gonna go have a look around.
Yeah, maybe talk to some people.
Yeah, see what they think.
See what's happening.
Do some interviews. I think Fab Five Freddy's upstairs.
Uh-oh.
Yeah, imagine that.
Tim, if you had to
dance
describe
party.
Keith Haring in one word, what would that word be?
Oh. Don't put me on the spot like
on the
that.
spot, but you're getting
Like,
one word. Keith Haring is.
I mean, I can't do one word, but I mean, to me, Keith Haring is the '80s. You know, when I was growing up as a kid in the '80s, Keith Haring was like the artist. You know, as a kid, he was like someone you were like, I want to be like that.
He's basically MTV incarnate.
MTV artist. He was like a rock star version of an artist.
Well, let's go get our '80s on.
Let's do it. I'm here with Kay Haring. That's K-A-Y Haring, Keith Haring's sister at the Keith Haring opening. You were his younger sister.
Yes.
How was Keith as an older brother?
Oh my gosh. Everyone asked me that question. He was phenomenal. He taught me how to smoke pot and
beautiful. Someone needs to do it.
Yeah. No, but no.
Keep it in the family.
He was an inspiration in many different ways. And he was just all around a great brother.
Yeah, I mean, it seems he was, every time I read an interview about Keith, it seems like he was an inspiration to all. Beloved by everyone, it seems. So it seems like it must have been great to have him as your older brother. Do you have a great story? Like as kids, you guys running around as kids?
There's a lot of them. One of the things that we used to do as kids, and we were living in a really small town, Kutztown, Pennsylvania.
Right.
And this was really Keith's inspiration, but he wanted to do penny fairs. So we had these fairs in our backyard, and we would invite all the neighbors and do the whole penny pitch to win a Coke bottle and things like that.
So you set up the penny fairs.
And had games and art shows, and people brought their pets as part of we had a pet show.
Little pet parade?
Yes, we did. It was really cool.
Awesome, and that was all devised by Keith.
An inspiration by Keith, yes.
Beautiful. So you've been around the opening. What do you think?
It's phenomenal. They have collected a number of his works that are very inspirational and so speak to the vibrancy that Keith had as an artist. And it's just, I'm sort of blown away. This is the second time that I've been through the show and just enjoying the pieces that are here, and it's something that people need to see and actually spend time in front of the paintings in order to really...
Yeah, very powerful. All right, well, thank you so much, Kay.
Thank you.
But we are here with James Oliver Jones Jr. at the Keith Haring Show, as you know. James, what do you think of the show? What do you think of Keith Haring? Enlighten us.
He was a personal friend. I witnessed a lot of his work. I was part of the Mud Club show, which he and Joe Louis curated in New York in 1981. He respected my work. I respected his work. And it's nice. This is nostalgia for me. It's good to hear Fab upstairs. And it's like the old days,
Nice. Can you give us an anecdote or a story about Keith? Something people might want to hear?
Yeah, actually, he did something that really shocked me because He had a birthday party at a place called the Garage, and he gave prints. He did prints of his work, several different pieces of these included, and he handed them out as handkerchiefs to all of his invited guests. But Keith, being who he was, there was over 5,000 guests, so he was giving away his art to his friends. You know.
Awesome. Awesome. Well, thank you very much for talking with us, man. God bless you. So here, I think this is the point where we start to hit that political line, not Tim?
I think this is the political line. It started right about
The political line has been drawn right here.
It's very obvious to see. Reagan Slain by Hero Cop. It's one of my favorites. Yes.
Are you on the side of the Hero Cop?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. Are you on the side of the rich?
No, definitely.
He's a good actor though.
He's a good actor.
Yeah. I like that one with the chimp.
Chimp?
Bonzo.
Bonzo the Chimp.
Yeah, remember Reagan and Bonzo the chimp? And
What do you think about model killed by crocodile? Iranians hold Liberace writes, brother kills brother for 100 G AIDS and American tragedy. Killer cops loose in city.
it's okay.
Psycho priest killer goes free. Israel tracks Contra bomber. Dad sells own child on subway. Prez exile. Sorry.
Perfect.
Yeah, that's great. That's great. Right? It's hilarious, is what it means to me.
Here we are, What Is Art Live. We're here with Fab Five Freddy.
The man, the myth, the legend. Fab Five
That's
Freddy.
right. 80s icon. You just had the crowd rocking out there. It was a great set, indeed. Thank you. So what would you say? Are you still living in New York?
Yes,
I imagine?
yes.
What's a big difference between how about the 80s in New York and New York now? The one major difference.
30 years or so.
Yeah.
It's a mathematical difference. Simple.
Right.
No cultural difference?
I don't know. We'll get some cultural anthropologists that can really break it down. But you know, I'm alive. We're rocking, and I came here in tribute to my good friend Keith Haring. We partied together. We smoked weed together. We didn't make art together, but we're both artists, and we enjoyed each other's company. And the party continues, as does great art making. And I hope people come out to see Keith's show here at the De Young, because they've done a great job, and the energy here has been really stellar.
Yeah, indeed.
Good.
Fantastic.
Freddie, one more question. Just if you can give us one anecdote that could define Keith Haring or your relationship. You got something quick you could spill for us?
Just like a good friend, you know, you can't sum it up in one thing. He was a good friend. He was very caring, loving, considerate. He really loved kids. So all of his good friends that had kids would get art for the kids on like their birthdays and also on Christmas. And those kids dancing there was like, Keith would have just been so in awe of that.
He would have loved
And so
that.
I think a big thing in his art was in touch with his inner child. And he kept it simple, but he had this immediate thing with kids. He would drop down to his knees and talk to them and engage with them. And, you know, without question, all his friends that had kids would get gifts on birthdays and holidays. So that's one of the memorable things that hit me really hard, along with the music, was all the kids that danced throughout the show. Like, it kept people from looking at my sometimes inadequate mixes. But so the kids distracted. Thank you, kids. That's it. Well, thank you guys.
Yeah, thanks
I
so much.
appreciate it. It was
Great
nice
to
to
meet
meet you
you.
guys.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Indeed.
Mwah.
All right, this is What Is Art Live. We're here with Jules Buckner and his holder. How's it going, Jules?
Good.
Great. How do you like the show?
It's great. Those paintings there look a lot like comics. So I really like them.
Great.
I'm really interested.
Is this your first time experiencing Keith Haring? Is this the
Yes.
first time you saw his work? Great, great. So you said they remind you of comics. Do you have a favorite comic out there?
Well, I like Peanuts and Garfield and Calvin Hobbes.
Awesome. Those are classics. Those are classics. I can see why you like this stuff. So anyway, let's look at one piece maybe. Maybe this piece over here. Give your interpretation of what's going on in that painting.
Picking up some hunters or something, and then throwing them on the floor,
Yeah,
and then like breathing hot air on them or something.
breathing hot air on him. Yeah, I can see the hot air coming out of his mouth. All right, Jules, thank you so much for being on the show. It was great talking to you, and hope to have you on again. Events curator for the night?
For the night,
I'm gonna go ahead
yeah.
and say Phonique the 80s babe.
Oh, thank
Total
you.
80s
And
babe.
Phonique the drag
Seriously.
queen.
Phonique
the drag
The
queen.
80s drag queen babe.
Yes, that is great. Thank you.
That seems about right. From here.
Phonique, how's it going?
Going well. How are you?
Yeah, alright. Good. It's not about me though.
Yeah, you curated
about
the
all of
night.
us.
Is it going as
It's going
as
well.
good as
I mean, I have
planned?
some co-curators. I can't take responsibility for having the clout to bring Fab Five Freddy in here, but amazing that he's here. But I
Indeed.
brought in these fabulous dancers and go-go dancers, and we're having a blast.
Awesome. Yeah, we're having a blast.
Yeah, we're doing alright.
Yeah,
Great.
indeed. So when they were having a Keith Haring show where they we need to bring in Phonique. Phonique's the one who can really make this night happen.
I think Phonique was one of the ones to, be on, to be among the people who would know who to bring in to make some of these parties happen, for sure.
Right. We can tell.
It's written all over you,
Yeah.
Frank.
Okay. Well, I have an association with the institution too. I was an artist fellow here in 2012, and so I'm familiar with the scene and this kind of, the Friday nights at the DeYoung, which always are here to kind of serve the art, but they also, as you probably have seen, the Friday nights at the DeYoung are an all ages event, and they do tend to, it's early in the evening, so it does tend to become a toddler dance party.
Yeah,
So we've had
we saw that.
we've had the Kinder dance party. Fab Five Freddy just surrendered to it and played Rock Lobster, which I consider to be children's music, don't you?
Yeah,
In the best
indeed.
way.
I
So
kinda
we
wanted
had
to
a
get
great
on the
time
stage
up
with
there.
those kids.
Yeah.
On a scale from
Bring the kids on
0
the
to creepy,
stage.
would that be okay if I got up there? or-
Oh, I think that would be fine. I don't
Alright.
think that would be creepy. I think it would be all in good fun.
Good.
I can
Yeah.
see where you might worry about that.
Yeah,
Oh, See, I've been known to bring drag queens and children together in this space a lot. So I did an event here once where kids got to dress drag queens. So it was like a Project Runway.
Yeah.
It was like a Project Runway kind of thing, but with children, teams of children dressing drag queens. So
Seems
it
like a
made
great
perfect
union.
sense to me. Yeah,
Yeah, perfect.
giant
Indeed.
Barbies.
See,
Giant
my
Barbies.
dances are kind of torso heavy, so I worry.
You just get low. Get
So
low.
let's talk Keith Haring
Yes.
show. What do you think? What makes him so special?
Oh God, Keith Haring was so. I just feel like as his artistic voice and vision was as an '80s gal myself, as like a child of the '80s or a teen of the '80s, I should say. Like
Yeah.
when I discovered his work, it was kind of life changing and captured the spirit of the this kind of urban life that I was a suburban kid, but it captured this urban life that I wanted to be living, and so in a sense this work is kind of aspirational. I mean, I think early when I saw some of the work early on, I don't think I was aware of all of the political implications until a little bit later. So then for me, of course, becoming politically aware, the work meant even more to me, and the fact that this show is specifically Keith Haring the political line is, it's just incredible to see it brought together under that kind of that umbrella. So yeah, it's amazing. What else is Keith Haring to me? I mean, he represents, I'm a dancer also, so he represents, there's so much movement in the work, and so much of the work is inspired by dancing and dancers and club culture and dancing together. So I think there's always something in it, from that perspective that's so attractive to me.
No, for sure.
All right, well, Fanika, I think it sounds like we should probably let you go dancing.
I think we may need to
might be
dance.
holding it back.
I think it's bedtime now, so I think maybe the grown-ups are dancing.
Yeah.
Watch
At
out.
this point, so I think we're ready. Maybe we're ready for you to
You
join
can
in.
have your chance.
Do it.
Do it.
Moment for life.
Thanks,
Thanks,
guys.
Thank you so much for
Thank
speaking
you.
with us. Here we are. We've got Nate Blanchard or Blanchard, depending on which
What day of the
Yeah.
week it is.
doesn't matter.
But that's not a bland shirt.
Not a Blanchard from the Blanchard. That was good. That was good. I like that. So, you want to ask me a question?
Yeah, so you're a pretty young guy. What's your first experience with Keith Haring?
Well, obviously just, kind of on television you see Keith Haring little, figures. Probably my most memorable experience was Madonna's Sticky and Sweet tour. She had Keith Haring animations for one of her songs.
Oh, wow.
And that was pretty awesome to see. Like, it really blew my mind.
Awesome. Cool.
Yes.
And what do you think of when an artist like Keith Haring crosses into the pop world like that? Do you think that there's any problem with that? Do you think it's purely positive effect?
Well, I mean, it's best of both worlds. He gets a lot of exposure. The art is really kind of takes on a life of its own. But then you kind of have the trouble where you get placed into a box that you can't escape from. Like Haring and Warhol kind of had a similar problem in that they were both kind of seen as the pop artist. What this exhibit really perfects is just really shows like the other deeper side of Haring, which I kind of really enjoy. So yeah, I think it's the best of both worlds, but as long as you have some good intentions and really express yourself, then why not?
Right. And how much more attractive do you think his art is than your shirt?
Well, there's a lot of penises in his art, so I think it's a little bit more attractive than the shirts.
Fair enough.
Maybe you should get some penises on your shirt.
Oh, give me 2 hours.
Thanks, Nate. Thanks for talking to us.
Yeah, thanks so much.
All right, what is our live? We've got Elka, Carrie, and Jason here. They are just patrons of the arts. Yes, is that accurate? What do you think about Keith Haring?
Very interesting.
Impressive.
Well, I mean, my mind is really filled with lots of penises, but other than that, very, very impressive.
Is that abnormal?
Well, not always. It's usually my own penis, but
That happens. That happens.
Your mind's usually also same status? Or?
It happens to all of us, yes.
And what do you think of the show?
really,
I think it's such a big exhibit. I think it's fantastic that so many different pieces have been brought together.
Yeah.
Especially since this is the first showing in the States. I think this is great. And something like this usually isn't shown. So as a teacher of political science, I really enjoy seeing political art being displayed in this manner.
If you had to sum up the political implications of Haring's art, kind of, what would you say is the primary message?
I would say it's about social justice. In the end, he does a lot of stuff, as I'm sure everyone knows who has actually looked into his work. I don't know. It's about social movements and social power, and about fighting a lot of social injustices. I don't know why I'm so stuck on that word right now, but apparently I am.
It's apparently the key.
The key word
It seems
now.
right though. So is there anything after seeing the show, or most of the show anyway, that's changed your mind about Haring, or did you see anything that surprised you in the work?
I'm amazed by how, because I've seen a lot of the flatter kind of cartoon-like stuff, but the way in which started noticing the skill of making things seem really lifelike with very simple lines. I've been very impressed by the skill of that, which is something I didn't know about him before, especially some of the bigger pieces. You can really evoking humans in a way with these very simple forms, cartoonish but very powerful. I'm very impressed by that.
Yeah, the mixed media pieces are really nice to see in person.
Elka, we haven't heard from you.
Yeah.
What's your favorite thing you saw? We know Elka's shy. So.
I'm definitely not going to have anything as awesome to say as she did. But I think it's great because I personally love graffiti, but I love graffiti with a great message like what he had. So especially being in New York, I see lots of stuff. So I feel really, really attached to his work also just because how outspoken he was about things that no one really talks about. So I think it's just great. And so I love seeing the penises and everything, especially knowing the era, the time when he did do all this. It's kind of, no one ever did that. So I think it's great.
Great. Well, thanks, Elka. I think we all love seeing the penises.
I think we can agree. We've got a quintet of people here.
Let's not forget the breasts as well.
Oh, no one should forget them ever. They're key. All right. Well, thank you, Elka, Carrie, and Jason for speaking with us.
Yeah. Thanks so much.
Here we are. What is our live? We've got Deidre DeFonso. Everyone calls her Deidre. She's beautifully sweaty right now.
Quite sweaty.
What's been happening, Deidre?
Oh my God, we have been dancing like freaking maniacs, okay? At this Keith Haring opening with Renee Balducci, who looks like such a hot 80s rocker. You might not know. She actually is running the show. And excited to be here. I curated a show here a couple weeks ago, What Tethers Us.
Put in a plug. What was the show?
It was a memorial show for my good friend Monica Majura, but I brought together okay, several people died and it was hell. What we tried to do was bring in love and joy, and we brought together the community. What brings us together? And so I got 18 artists, the Extraction Marching Band, Vaudeville performers, sound healers, other performers, just incredible DJ, the whole freaking hoo-ha, and we brought joy, connectivity, and love where there was pain. And it was epic. It was epic. I did those big 6 4x7 paintings. I don't know if you were here. It was good though. We broke a record for attendance. Other than the opening of the museum 24 years ago, we beat everything that Friday night. What Tethers Us, October 17th over.
That's my birthday.
Yes!
Birthday!
It's
Whoa,
right.
happy birthday.
Freaking Libra. So, okay. So you guys talk. I don't want to talk to you.
No, that's impressive though.
good.
You broke all those records.
On my
That's
brain. It was pretty.
Might have had something to do with that.
Well, it was magic and epic. And
It's in the air.
yeah.
So let's say,
Hey everybody,
what do you think about
I just want to tell
Oh
you,
my God,
this was an
he is
incredible crowd, especially all the kids.
And I feel that he's here. And I feel that he's loving everyone here. We all dressed 80s nightclub. Children have been dancing absolutely on the stages all night long. And there's been a magic here. And I know Keith would love it. You know, I know that he would appreciate the eclectic energy here and the funkiness. You know, he was a trailbreaker, he was a maverick, although we're never allowed to use that word again since some politician used it, so I'm sorry for that.
Right.
But truly, you know, Keith Haring paved the way for so many graffiti artists, so many people on so many political issues, and basically, we love you, Keith, you hot patootie. Just saying.
we do. We do. We all love it. All right, thank you, Deej. We are reclaiming that. Politicians cannot have members. Sorry.
Well, no, I didn't mean it. God damn it.
We're taking it back.
I'm a reader. I read a lot. Maverick, you read it.